A quick one before our live stream starts. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, we go live there every day trading the markets, covering world news, and talking through setups in real time. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next session.
Still doom scrolling? Brain rot taking over? You'll focus tomorrow, right? But what if tomorrow never comes? What if it all started with one small choice? The world won't wait for you. Opportunity is moving right now. One decision is all it takes to shift your momentum. Fuel your mind and watch possibilities open up. Small wins stack up, focus sharpens, growth begins. Everything changes the moment you focus. Lock in and make the switch today. Bring your ambition into focus. Trade with Switch Markets.
Are you still trading everything manually? More traders are moving to automation, running strategies 24/7, removing emotion, and staying consistent. Now with Switch Markets, you've got the tools to build and run your own automated trading systems, so your strategy delivers even when you're asleep.
Meet Switch Markets, a broker for ambitious people who want to trade the financial markets.
You mean that I can trade things like Forex, stocks, even gold with you?
Yes, you can even trade the coffee bean market with us.
What about digital currencies? Can I trade them too?
Absolutely. Maybe now's your time to get in.
Oh, and are you regulated?
Yes, we are.
And how easy is it to deposit and withdraw? Will you charge me any fees?
It's easy. Deposit and withdraw instantly. Nice and simple. And unlike that guy, we won't grab any fees from you.
Do you have a low spread trading account?
We certainly do. Pick from our zero commission or our low spreads account. It's up to you.
Okay then, what makes you so different from every other broker out there?
Our 5-star rated real human customer support and our perks package worth thousands. No other broker can beat it.
So, who did you say you were again?
Switch to success. Trade with Switch Markets.
Getting started in trading shouldn't be complicated. You can open an account, get set up, and be ready to go pretty quickly. Now, if you've been thinking about it, take a look. Click the link in the description below. You can even start with a free demo account.
In trading, like climbing, the hardest step is to pause, hold, and trust your position. Ambition pulls you forward. Focus keeps you steady. Together, they take you higher. Bring your ambition into focus. Switch Markets.
Already trading with another broker? Fair enough. But if you haven't looked around lately, you might be missing out. Now, Switch Markets is picking up awards, offering tools most brokers don't, and their support actually shows up. It might be time for you to switch to Switch Markets. Click the link in the description below to get started today.
Discipline starts before the first punch is thrown. Focus sharpens in silence. Repetition builds control. Every movement prepares you for the fight ahead. Trading isn't luck. It's preparation. It's grit. Your fight is won long before the bell even rings. Champions trade with Switch Markets. It's time to bring your ambition into focus.
Are you still with the same broker? Now, there are better options out there. There's more tools, better support, and a platform built for traders. It's time that you demand more from your broker. Take a look at Switch Markets. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Trading Room. I'm Shane Vernier, and we're trading the U.S. Open. We're about a half hour into the U.S. session here. We've got some interesting movement. We've got a ton of news to cover. We're going to do that towards the end of the stream. I want to get into some live trading right now. We've got a U.S. 100, and this is going to go ahead and be our two-bar orb. I've been covering this a lot lately because a lot of traders are very interested in this orb strategy opening range breakout. You can see there's our 15-minute. There's our bar one opening bell, ding, ding. There's our second bar right there. So now we're just waiting on our entry. Our entry is just a bar close, the first bar close outside of this range. So we're going to take a look at that as well. We've got a few trades that it looks like they're going to come off in the crude oil markets. We're going to trade our 9 EMA strategy on that one. We've also got some trade updates and a trade coming our way on the US 100, and I think it's going to be here relatively soon. So I want to welcome everybody back to the trading room. It's been an interesting 12 hours since the last time we talked, or 18 hours since the last time we talked. A lot going on. Trump, Xi, and China. You've also got Kevin Warsh as the new Fed chair. Congratulations, Mr. Warsh. I'm not sure what you're going to do with this inflation situation, but that one's going to be remains to be seen. We're going to wait. That's going to be a big one, though. So we got Warsh coming in. He was confirmed. We'll cover that. Also, Keir Starmer could be on his way out. It looks like there's going to be a challenge to his leadership there in the UK. So there's a ton going on the geopolitical front. We've got a lot of trade ideas to cover, too. I've got two that are coming into play. We've had a pretty good week with the trade ideas. Those have been going really well lately. So looks like maybe some of that war chaos has finally died down, and we're going to have an opportunity to get involved in the markets with a little bit of confidence and meaning. So I want to welcome everybody back. Tina Jane, good to see you. Tina, welcome out there in YouTube land and out in the How to Trade community. Bobby Bob, good to see you. And Andrea Garwal, always a pleasure, guys. If you have any questions or any markets you'd like me to cover at all, be sure to ask. Let's get right out to WTI crude and Brent crude. I would say that crude oil is sort of in a stalemate right now. I mean, it's not necessarily in a trend. I mean, clearly we're in an uptrend since the war started, but really flattened out right around $100 for WTI crude and right around 105 to 110 for Brent. So I'm really seeing us sort of trade sideways in a lot of ways. For me, though, right now, this time of day, I believe we're 6 hours. I'm 6 hours behind you in London, so you're probably looking at, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, something like that. For me, I'm watching this from about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm saying this is perfect trading. If I'm trading crude oil, now is when I'm trading it. It's maximum volatility, it's maximum participation, and you've got a chance here really to make some plays. So I've got my 5-minute signals up. This is really a time frame that I do like the 9 EMA strategy on. If you're not familiar with it, head on over to Switch, and they'll get you set up with the strategy pack and everything. But this right here, it is really an interesting type of a dynamic. We have a real good buy signal right there on Brent crude, and we also had one on WTI. Now, guys, this is what's known as a correlation. All right, there is definitely a positive correlation going on between Brent and WTI. There always is. So if you take a trade in WTI and then you take a trade in Brent, basically you're making the same trade twice. I don't know that I would be doing stuff like that. That's called double exposure, and it can really it increases your risk exposure exponentially. So by looking at this trade, I do like it. I mean, it is grinding higher and higher and higher. Pretty good stuff there on the 5-minute. But let's go in on the prowl and see if we can get maybe something on a little shorter time frame. We had a couple 1-minute trades yesterday that were absolutely fantastic. It looks like right now we're probably not going to get anything for another few minutes at least. But you can see RSI, very simple strategy. RSI, when we're above 70, we're looking to sell. We'll get our little EA to set up a sell signal. When we're beneath 30, we're looking to buy, and that's when our EA will give us a buy signal. And remember, the close underneath the 9 EMAs are sell, our close above the 9 EMAs are buy. It's very simple. Go ahead and check that out over on Switch Markets. Just Google. You can Google Switch Markets 9 EMA strategy, and it'll come up for you. But we've covered that a lot. I've dropped the link pretty much everywhere. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me over at How to Trade. But it's a pretty good signal. You see right there, there was sort of your sell on the 1 minute, and now we're just sort of trading sideways. I don't really know if that's worth it or not. Let's just go ahead and wait for another signal and see what we can get involved with potentially in the crude oil markets. We do have this orb strategy, though. We had a couple winners last week, a couple pretty good moves at least, and we're looking at some pretty good stuff here. I mean, I'm really optimistic. I think that we're going to see some markets really break, and the reason why is the news cycle. Trump, Xi, Iran, Warsh is now in there. I'm waiting for Warsh to say something publicly. I think that he may, just out of the blue, but it's a very sensitive news cycle. Things in China aren't going very well. I mean, it's interesting. I've never seen really anything like it. I say that almost every day with Trump. But Xi made a statement yesterday that was absolutely telling of where China is with regards to Taiwan. That's probably going to be our biggest market mover for 2027. Not this year, but more than likely next year. That's going to be the big one. So we're going to wait and see how that pans out, but it's going to be pretty good. Packy, I'm good to see you. What's up, Shane? Will you be attending Warsh's welcoming party? I don't know. I gave up on central bankers a long time ago, Packy. To me, I sort of he wants to cut interest rates. I don't know how he can. We'll look at the expectations a little bit later, but I mean, I just don't know how he can. All right, let's go ahead and get into our gold market here. 30-minute gold chart. This is sort of my bread and butter when I'm trading gold during the day. I really like it. It's one of those that gives me a good opportunity to bring up those market profile concepts. I talk about the TPO charts and get us involved. Take a look at what happened right here. Always important. Always know your key levels, especially when you're going into the U.S. session or that London-U.S. overlap. Right there's your overnight low that occurred ahead of the London session by about, 3 hours? So you can see right here, there's your low. We go right down there and we bounce off of it. So the market is in complete rotation right now. Gold intraday is in complete rotation. Very difficult to trade. What you're going to want to do is typically buy down near the bottom of the range, and then you're going to want to sell up near the top of the range. Now, if you do those things, you're probably going to be okay. You just got to remember that if the market does break, and it can break at any minute, we know that. If it does break, then you have to get out. You can't be taking losses. So let's step back to some of my longer-term technicals and see if we can get maybe a key level to work with here and some way to trade. Okay, daily. And this, guys, this tells you everything you need to know. Now, I've taken a lot of one-on-ones with the traders, a lot of them. A lot of you are very smart. I've talked to a lot of you in person, very, very smart. A lot of folks, because they have the intelligence and because they have the trading background and the knowledge and the desire to get in and make money, they start making mistakes and they start seeing trends where there aren't any trends, and they start seeing essentially, this market's going to break out and I'm going to hit my 10x. I'm going to hit my 15x or my 20x. Believe me, this market is absolutely flat. I can't stress that enough. Take a good look at where we're at here. Right between my Bollinger midpoint was at 46.89, and my EMA, my daily EMA, 13-day EMA, 46.78. We are very, very flat. So when I'm looking at this, if I'm thinking trend, I'm wrong. I still want this market to open up and give us a chance. You'll notice that we're trading for the second straight day inside of Monday's range. That's not good. That means this market's really loading up. Potentially we'll get a move maybe later in the week, but I don't see it. I really don't. Today, I mean, it is later in the week. You're getting right down to brass tacks. So we've been looking at this level pretty much all week long. This 38% level, 46.69, it's still pretty good. I mean, it's still pretty good. So what do you have there? You got your 13-period EMA, which is right on there, 46.78, 46.69. I would be looking to do this probably for the rest of the day. Just waiting for a break. And you can see exactly what happened. Look at our value area. We've already hit that sucker twice. That's a big level down there, 46.70-ish. Overnight, we hit it, rotated up. We just hit it about 30 minutes ago and then rotated up. We could probably buy it again, but here's the caveat. You got to get out if you're wrong. So let's go ahead. Let's pull up an order. Let's go limit order. I want to buy limit, and we're going to dial this in right above our support zone yet again. Now, the longer we go during the trading day, the more confident I feel about this. Believe it or not, we're still very, very live in this session, and that means we could get a breakout in a trend at any time in something like a gold. So I'm a little bit leery, and you're going to see me do something I typically don't like to do, especially on a scalp, an intraday scalp, but we've got to do it. So we're going to go ahead and send that buy limit order to the market. Where am I going to put my stop loss? Right down there. It's going to be right beneath that double bottom that's set up on the 30-minute chart. I've got to get out. And remember, these are demo dollars. We're not playing with real leverage, although you could probably do something like this relatively simply on a prop account where you got decent amount of leverage or a decent amount of liquidity and purchasing power. Maybe shoot for something right up in there. A nice 1.5 to 1. Pretty good trade. You're looking for something that's maybe an $11 bounce. Is it a little big? It's a little bit big. I mean, for an intraday trade, you're looking for a significant run off of that low, but you can see that we've got it twice. What I would do is I'm not as confident because first time down, second time down, yeah. Third time down to our support zone, things start getting a little bit dicey. But if you just use your leverage 1 to 3% on any given trade, you'll have a pretty good opportunity here to succeed. I like that level. Later in the day, I'll like it more because the market will start slowing down and we'll have a pretty good opportunity maybe just to hit that a couple of different times. So I'm watching that level closely, right around that 46.71. You could even take it down a little bit, maybe down to 70 and a quarter if you wanted. But your stop loss needs to be firm under there. And then maybe let's bring that profit target in just a little bit. You guys know me. I'm not real big on taking 1 to 5s or 1 to 6s, even though a lot of folks really do make a lot of money doing that. I'm going to keep this relatively tight. I want that just a little bit better than a 1-to-1. And we'll see if we can get that scalp come across the board here in the next half hour or so while we're trading here live. All right, US 100, very, very slow right this minute. Pretty good opening 15 minutes. Second 15 minutes sort of slowed down a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the US 500. What are we looking at here? Really similar price action. S&P 500 and US 100 have been incredibly bullish lately. So pretty good stuff there with regards to maybe a pending breakout. I still like it. I think it's a good day to be doing it. This is different, though, isn't it? Big bearish move out of the US 30. US 30 has been the laggard of the group. US 500, US 100 are making all-time highs. US 30, we're digging in right around 50,000. 50,000 is the game for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's trading right there right now. We just hit 50,000 on the Dow, 50,004. Now we're back down to 49,998. It's incredible compression what's happening here. Let's just go to the raw index so we can see exactly what's happening. Go to a 1-minute chart. What does any of this show us? In my view, not much. There's 50. 50 is a big deal. We ran, we took out 50, we came back down. I mean, this is going to be the point of control for today. And the Dow, interesting stuff. I'll be watching that 50,000 level closely. That's going to be big news probably later on today. But as far as taking a trade here, interesting. I mean, in one respect, if we get this breakout in the US 30 to the bear, that means we can put our back against 50,000 and try to get a big correction in. That's not a bad trade. That's not a bad trade at all. That is a really good key level. So we're going to circle back around. We don't have any trades setting up here, I don't believe, in the next minute or so. Now we're just dead center of those ranges. I like the way this US 30 is setting up, though. Pretty good compression. Got almost like a little bearish pennant there. That's for sure. Let's see. Tina, China needs to wait for good weather conditions if they want to attack Taiwan, I think. Well, I don't know much about the weather in the region. I think that 2027 was the year, though, Tina. A lot of people have been talking about 2027. An attack there would be, I won't even speculate on it, but we think that it may be coming, and I'll show you what Xi said that sort of suggests that, the Chinese government is thinking about potentially going active on Taiwan. I'm packing, but buy limit on gold at 46.75 for me. 46.75. It's big. I mean, you're buying right in here. It's not bad. I don't know about 75, but if that's what you want, go for it. Watch your risk. I took my 8 ticks on the NAS and the US 30 on the retest 5 minutes after the New York Open. That's great. Let me see, Madam, I'm selling. Madam Emmanuel, what are you selling? Just curious. It says I'm selling. What are you selling? All right, let's go ahead. We got a couple of trade updates to get to that I really like while we let some of these trades simmer. I would like to get that gold, though, live. That'd be fantastic. We're going to be looking at some TPO charts and WTI crude here in just a little bit as well. I want to give those more time to set up. We had a real good test of the overnight point of control that was a winner. I mean, here it is. I mean, that was really perfect trade. Point of control, absolutely beautiful. Right around your 101 level, 101.09. Really a great retracement there. It was fantastic. Now we're breaking above that point of control. Yesterday, remember, we were trading WTI crude, and we bought that bottom of the value area. Worked very well later in the day. This area right up in here, that was the top of our early day value, right up around 101.60-ish. Interesting. Maybe a potential selling zone. But the way that this is panning out today, this is just a straight-up bell curve. It looks to me like it's very tight. We could definitely get a break. We're trending. Now we're starting to move above. Starting to move above that point of control. That suggests we're a little bit bullish here. We're going to wait and see. I'm going to let this one simmer for a while before we get too involved with what's cooking. All right, I got a lot of questions on the dollar CAD yesterday, so I will go ahead and want to update this trade idea. This is sort of a convergence of long-term macro indicators. You've got a 13-month EMA and a monthly Bollinger midpoint, and they both sort of converge right up around 138, just this side of 138. So we've got that 138 level. We're looking to sell 137.85. So I think it's a pretty good trade. You can see right here we're rotating back up beautifully. We're trading about 137.14s. So if we do get a bump, we do get a late week bump on this dollar CAD, and that level does come into play, I think we have a very good chance on that one. So you're only looking for about 30 pips. It may be one where you could shoot for more. I wouldn't shoot for any less than that, though. These macro levels, monthly levels, when they come into play, you've got to get involved, and it's not necessarily a good idea to do it just for 5 or 6 pips. Even though the spread's real tight on the dollar CAD, you probably want to make sure that you take a little bit of, take your pound of flesh if you're going to do it. If you're going to do it, do it. So we've got about a minimum 30 pips there. Maybe more, though. Just got to wait and see how this one unfolds. 13-month EMA, though, Bollinger midpoint. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. We're going to have a chance to trade that, I think, very, very soon. We have another trade. This one I put out yesterday, and this is a good one. I like this one a lot, and I think we're headed there. Trade update, counter trend trade up next in the US 100. We're looking to sell the 29,950 area right in front of 30,000. Now my pips are off. I think I'm off like 25 pips or something, but we'll be looking for like 375, 350, 400 pips, something like that. A conservative next level will be 29.625, but I really like a short-term bounce, or excuse me, a short-term pullback off of this 30,000 level for the US 100. I think that could be absolutely huge. So if we get a chance there, we could definitely get that pullback and potentially step up and take 400 or 500 pips off of that. Typically, the US 100 CFD is scored at about a pip a point, somewhere in there. But sometimes on your platform, whichever you may be using, it may be a tenth of a pip or something. So you'll have to make the adjustments accordingly. But we're looking for a little bit of a move, a retracement back from 30,000 down to about 20. What do I have? 29.625, at least that far. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. A lot of times at these key levels, life can get pretty dicey. Things can get pretty tricky. I'm waiting for that sell right up in there. So, to execute this trade, like I said, relatively straightforward. Get your paper trader up and rolling. Something like this. Order. We're going to go order, sell, limit. And you're going to look to sell, and our limit was right up there at 29,950. And this trade's a little bit off in the distance, but it could come our way at any time. No question about it. So I'd be looking to sell that, sell market 10, something right around there, right in front of that 30,000. We're just looking for a little bit of friction on that big round number, and we can step up and take the money out of it. I'm not expecting much of a fight up there. I'm really not. I'm looking for some hot price action, maybe some compression around 30 before we go higher. Really no reason to believe that we're not going higher. This looks like we could definitely blow up. So I'm watching this counter trend trade. That means it is a little bit riskier than usual, but I am watching this one. And as far as the stop loss goes, basic 1-to-1. You need to give this one a little chance to work. So I'd have my stop loss up there somewhere. It's got to be up above 30, probably 30,250, maybe 30,300, somewhere up in there. Give you an opportunity maybe to get that friction. We want the sellers to come in right ahead of our key level. That's where we want them. We don't want them on the key level. We want them ahead of the key level. So we're going to shade our entry right in front of that zone, thinking we're going to get a retracement ahead of 30,000. Now, worst case scenario, it's a hard test at 30,000. We get a little bit of junk up here, a little bit of compression, two-way action, and then we get our big sell-off. So we're watching that one. I think that one's coming our way. 29.5. Right now we're printing 29.5 in the Dow, or in the US 100. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable price action in big tech. You always hesitate to say, oh, how high can a market go? There aren't any rules. This thing can go to 50,000. We just don't really know right now. We do know that the bidders are involved, and they are serious. So I'm watching this level closely. I'm in and I'm out. I'm not holding it. I'm not picking 30,000 as a top. I'm not trying to pick the top of this market. I think that's a really tough, challenging idea. All right, let's go ahead and get back out to our WTI crude oil stuff on the 1 minute and our Brent crude. Yeah, we just don't have much cooking right now. It's very, very, very quiet on this 9 EMA strategy. I think that's a real challenge to get a trade probably in the next 20 minutes or so. We just got to wait and see. But right this minute, not real great. Not real great action there. Very, very flat. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I always say we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how this one pans out. All right, so let's go ahead and go over some of our fundamentals, and then we'll get back into some of our some of our Forex pairs. If there's any Forex pairs you guys want to see, be sure to throw them out there. I will cover a few here. I'll look at the dollar, yen, and the euro USD here in just a second. So week 20, 2026, Monday was the Iran war. Tuesday was CPI. We had CPI live for you. Wednesday was US PPI. PPI and CPI both came in hot. Say that 3 times. Very, very brutal. Not very good inflation numbers at all. And everybody's wondering what's going on right now. Thursday was retail sales and weekly jobless claims. Our fundamental of the day will be retail sales. I'm going to cover that right now. Friday is going to be the Baker Hughes rig count. Honestly, it's a secondary metric. However, oil is very sensitive right now, and the Baker Hughes could move it a little bit, WTI on an intraday basis. All right, retail sales comes in at 0.5%, in line with expectations, but down big from 1.6% last month, and 1.6% was downwardly revised. So things aren't looking real great on the retail sector. Core retail sales, 0.7%, in line with expectations, but down big from 1.9%. Retail, this is going to be a trend to watch. Remember, retail sales are the basis for consumption. And if you don't consume, if you're not consuming in the U.S. economy, in a consumer-driven economy, then you can't grow. And if you can't grow, GDP comes down, and we start talking about recessions. And I think that that's very, very real. It's a very real possibility right now that we go into a recession just because you got a war, you got higher energy costs. We'll see how the China summit comes out, but these numbers aren't looking good across the board, guys. Big inflation. All of a sudden, consumption's down. Jobs are relatively solid, but for right this minute, we're just not sure of how this thing's going to pan out, and that's all due to the Iran war. It's all of it. So let's just wait and see. Initial jobless claims spiked a little bit, 211,000, above 205,000 expected, and 199,000 previous. Not a huge number, but it is trending a little higher. We had a pretty good number last week. We don't have that now, so this week we definitely came down. All right, retail sales is definitely the big one today, although not many people are talking about it. Everybody's talking Trump G. Retail sales in U.S. increased 0.5%, following a downwardly revised 1.6% gain in March, and in line with forecasts. Sales at gasoline stations recorded the biggest increase as gasoline prices continue to rise with the war in Iran. That's the game right now. Expensive fuel is not good for a consumer-based economy, no question about it. So we're going to be watching that. I really don't know what to say about the numbers right now. They're really skewed because of the energy inflation. In any case, news of the day, there you have it. There's your chart, 3-year chart. What does today's retail sales mean? Drum roll, not much. I mean, it's a little bit better than we've seen in the past, but it's also a lot worse than what we've seen. So right this minute, the jury's out. We had really poor retail sales a few months back, really to open the year, to wrap up the last year and open this year. Then we saw a nice big run, and now we're coming back down into an area that really is driven by angst brought on by the Iran war, no question. So that's a look at our fundamental of the day. U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, we had a daily sell. Still like it, believe it or not. I really do. I still like this one. But we had our trade idea where we were looking to get short right up there from 62%. So you've got that big daily sell signal on the dollar yen. You've also got an opportunity potentially to sell at a retracement level. We're also watching this 9 EMA and our 20 EMA closely. If our 9 crosses our 20 on the daily, yeah, you probably got to get out, especially if you shorted down here. So something to look at there, but for me, really a nice range that we had set up on this big sell that came across the board the 30th of April. That's a big candle for any currency pair, and we still have this level right up in here. It's not bad. It's not too bad. We had a bit of bearish follow through right down to our low of 155.03, something like that. But we bounced big off of the 155 level. So for right this minute, I don't think I would be in any real trades for the dollar yen. We could get a crossover. If we get that, we'd probably go long. That's for sure. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at, let's go, dollar CAD. We already got that trade idea out of the way. Euro USD. As far as what we really have cooking here on a monthly basis, you know, the technicals are easy. You go right from that spike low, that panic spike low, all the way up to the spike high, and then you're looking for a pullback, a great pullback to 113.50 would be fantastic. We're just nowhere near that. So, I mean, that's not even realistic to have on our board right now. But something like this, where you're looking at maybe your Bollinger midpoint, your EMA, your 13-month EMA coming into play at 115.57. Yes, you want to definitely have that marked on your chart somewhere. That's a big time level in a big time zone. So if I was trading this, I'd be looking closely. I'd say, okay, 115, something like that. pretty good stuff. 116 is going to give you a decent chance to succeed, I would say. So that's an interesting support zone. As far as what could we deal with maybe today for a trade, so let's decrease our granularity. So now what do we have on the weekly? We're trading right at our moving average and our midpoint. It's tough. It's tough. I want to see this market move. I want to see it move before I get involved too deeply. Something like this. There it is, 116.93. Coincides with our EMA. There's our trade. I mean, it's not the best market formation, but it's the bottom of our range. And Tina mentioned it in the live chat out there on YouTube. I'd hit the level. So, I mean, right for me right now, trade, let's see, what do we got here? Order, $10 a pip. Yeah, I'll go ahead and just buy this thing at market and send them. Let's see what we got. So if we're breaking this trade down in real time, number one, I really couldn't have drawn up the entry any better. We look at this entry and I say, yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. What happens now? Well, we don't have any market drivers the rest of the week. We don't have any market drivers the rest of the week. So if we're talking about potentially taking a trade and holding it, this isn't a bad time to do so. Where would I stop myself out at? That's sort of where Forex trading becomes a little bit more difficult than some of the scalping that I do on your futures markets, your crude oil, your equities, indexes. It's tougher because it's slower. Now this is a weekly level, and that's my support zone. This kind of trades right in my wheelhouse. This is what I like to do. You say, Shane, what kind of trades do you like to take? Things like this. However, this isn't going to be really an intraday scalp unless we see a big move in the next 4 hours or so. It's not really going to be that scalp. It's going to be more of probably a position trade, probably a swing trade. I would say it's going to take a day or so to get anything out of this thing. Okay, so we're down there. We're testing this level out, 116.93. I like it. Right around 117. Probably would have rather bought 117s, but that's all right. This is what we're working with here. Let's take this down to a 30-minute chart and see exactly how price is unfolding for the U.S. session. Okay, so your scalps, essentially we came right down there yesterday afternoon before the before the U.S. close, the New York close, early, right? So the low right there is 116.95-ish. I mean, that's just really a beautiful trade, and you're looking at getting a high up of 117.23. So you already sort of got your money. Now what we're dealing with is sort of a secondary test of the zone. So we sort of put the probe out, and now we're bouncing. So in my opinion, when you're trading Forex pairs, really difficult to trade them really tight. It's tough. You kind of got to let these things go for a while and give it a little bit of leeway. And so for me, I'm watching this trade and I'm thinking, okay, there's a couple of ways that we can approach this. Number one, we could put it beneath that swing low right there. We could look at 116, maybe 84, maybe 74s, put our stop loss down there, and just try to take a 1-to-1 off of it. That's not a bad way to do business. We're long right there from 116.94, somewhere in there. So, maybe you're looking at a stop loss down in here, maybe beneath that 3/4 handle, 71, something like that. You certainly do that. You're just looking for about 22 pips profit. So something like this. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Is that enough out of this trade? I don't know. This could be an area where we would want to get a position trade. We would want to get something going here and maybe say, let's go ahead and just wait, maybe lock in under today's low, and then take a real shot. Take a shot for like a reversion back up here to 117.50 or something like that. I'm not against that. I'm really not, especially with a long-term level involved. So I would be watching this closely, but for the sake of our argument, let's just go ahead and line this one up. 1-to-1 ratio. We'll see if this one plays. You'll notice that I'm way beneath that low. If you wanted to play it tighter, you certainly could. Maybe shoot for a 1-to-2. I'm not going to tell anybody exactly how to manage their trades. For me, in the Forex, I always have my eyes on those 3/4 handles, 75, 116, 75. I want my stop loss beneath that. So I would go with something like that and wait for my support zone to sort of figure itself out. We'll see how it pans out. I just did get an alert, though, and what do we have here? We've got a sell on our Brent crude, right? All right, let's go ahead and step up to the plate and go ahead and sell one in Brent. You can see that. How did we get it? Overbought territory. Then we came right back down and we sold right in that area. So what would you do here with your dynamic trade management? Stop loss, you got a couple options. You could put it right above the candle there. something like that, or you can put it above the swing high. Just whatever you do, make sure that you dial it in, at least at a 1-to-1. Something like this, pretty interesting. It's an interesting trade. I mean, do we get the correction here? Maybe, maybe not. You see WTI. It looks like we haven't get that close right there. That should have been a signal. A lot of times we get some lag here, but that eventually will be a sell. Something interesting's happening here, though. You're sort of basing out, and now that 9 EMA is sort of acting as topside resistance a little bit, but the market is moving higher. This may be one that we just play really tight. Stop ourselves out right there. Maybe look for a decent break and a move here, and have a shot at maybe taking a real tight scalp. Now, that's an example of a scalp. That's a 1-minute scalp on Brent. Potentially, if you do get the follow-through here, then you may be okay. The beauty of it is that if you take the loss, it's just not a big deal. 1 minute, remember, 1-minute scalping charts, 1-minute charts. You're going to take a lot of these trades per day, especially if you trade multiple contracts here. Let's go ahead and just blow this up and have a good look at it. What's happening in our mind's eye? What's happening? We're going sideways. Why are we going sideways? The market is quiet. We're not trending. I mean, you could say a lot of folks are going to tell you that this is a trend. Not really. It's a 1-minute chart. You're sort of creeping higher. Yeah, you're up a little bit from where we were a half hour ago or 45 minutes ago. But have we really moved? Not really. Not really. I think on the day, what is the Brent on the day? Brent crude oil on the day is going to be what? Up 0.10%. That's flat as it gets for crude oil. It really is. This is a really tight trade, though. It's going against us. Do we win? Do we lose? Let's see. We're down about 127 right here. We just sold one lot of this Brent CFD, down about $100. This is like watching paint dry, realistically. Market's starting to come back our way. The only good thing about this trade is we have all the components of a solid trade. Remember, not all trades are going to win. But if you have these three components, you got a chance. If you have a structured entry, a good entry, we have that. Our EA flashed us a nice signal there, so we've got to sell. We have a stop loss. We know exactly where we're getting out of the market. Is it the best stop loss for us? Maybe. It's tight. It's right here tight. We could either go above the swing high or right above the trigger bar. Let's just play this one super tight and see what happens. Do we have a good profit target? Yeah, I've got a 1-to-1 down here. I could shoot for a lot more if I want. It just depends on what I think is going to happen. Now, as far as my take profit, I'm looking somewhere in the neighborhood. If I get that little window to pop up, I'm looking to make $191 on this. My stop loss is going to be what? It's going to be about, let's see, 243. So that's not going to work. We're going to have to come down just a little bit to make that at least a 1-to-1. So that would be our profit target. Do we get it? Don't we get it? Well, it seems like the big move was our signal. So if we do get the follow through here, we'll give this another minute or so. I'm not afraid of it, though. That's the bottom line. I know exactly where I'm getting out. I know exactly my risk allocation, $243 on this trade. And that needs to be a percentage of my risk capital that's viable. It needs to be 1 to 3%. Like I said, I will look the other way and I will give you 5 to 7% if you want to be aggressive. And that's of your total account balance. So if you're 5% of what? You have $1,000 in your account. I don't know what the quick math is. What is it, $50? No, it's more than that, isn't it? $50, something like that. So that's what you risk. Just remember, the higher the percentage of your overall capital you risk, the less times you can be wrong. And what happens is, even if you have a great winning percentage over time, if you're risking too much money on each trade, those consecutive losers will chew up your equity and they'll knock you out. This one's starting to go our way, though, a little bit. It's back to break even. Remember, you got to deal with spreads when you're trading these CFD markets and things. But interesting stuff right here. Do we get it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll circle back around to that. I'm kind of sort of getting bored watching that trade. All right, our Euro USD trade sort of fizzling out just a little bit. I'm not too high on that one either, but I just think it's gonna take some time. I love the level. Don't get me wrong. I love the long-term level. Just not sure that we're gonna get any follow through until later today. Very early in the session. All right, we did sort of back burner a couple of our orb trades. Still didn't get this one. I'm really starting to like this one in the US 30 though. There's your orb range. We're waiting for a close outside, and if you get that close outside, that would be your short. Let's check our other indices. Have we got one yet? Nope. Still waiting. US 100, we're trading inside of that 2-bar orb. How about the US 500? All right, US 500 is live. Let's go ahead and trade it. Remember, paper trading. We're not doing anything. We may end up trading real money at some point. All right, there's our buy market order. So how do we build this trade? How do we build it? We got in a little bit late to the party. That's fine. We should have been in right there. It's okay. Stop loss, couple options. We could go with a tight scalp right beneath our trigger bar, which is right here, the close outside of our range. We could do that. We could make this a real tight scalping sort of adventure, if you will. We could do that. That's almost a 1-to-1. We could do that. We could also play it for the rest of the day. We could put our stop loss conventional orb strategy is going to be your stop loss is going to be beneath your range. Something like that. Notice it's a much bigger trade. So it's sort of a risk. It's sort of a trade-off here. I don't mind trading this real tight like this. I really don't. I mean, you're playing for what, about $800 there, something like that? 820, 830. That's your trade, given our leverage, which is doable if you have a big prop account or something. Just remember, 1 to 3 to 5%. I'll look the other way if you want to trade 5%. The thing about these breakouts, though, opening range breakout, that's what an orb is, opening range breakout. They will go positive, and then they'll come back and go negative. So your feet are going to be put to the fire a lot. Like right now, we're winning. Our entry point's not good. If we could have got long right down in here somewhere where we should have, right on that first bar close outside of the orb, we would be up a lot more right now. So remember, if you're trading the orb, it's going to trade for you and it's going to trade against you. Playing this tight as we're playing right now, only about 8 points is our stop loss. It needs to really rotate higher, and it needs to do it right this minute. And it's starting to. Okay, now we're up 260, 250. We haven't even taken a draw. Now we're up 340. The question becomes, how long do we stay with this? If you're going to trade an orb, a systematic system in the dictionary under redundancy, redundant, right? If you're going to trade a strategy in a system like an orb, and you're going to use back-tested results to quantify your potential profit and loss over time, you're going to have to stick to your guns on these trades and let them play out. This is a trade you just have to let play out. Now, right now, my instincts, being a tick scalper and what I like to do, I'm up $350. I'm probably running for the door. We haven't even taken a draw yet. Thing didn't even go against us, and we got horrible entry. This is one of those trades that's always a decision you're going to have to make. When it goes in your favor immediately, we're up significantly now. We bought in at 74.82. Now we're up to 74.86. We're up about 4 points. Not bad. Not a bad little payday for. Think about that. You just showed up. You made a couple of trades. You're up $360. It's a pretty good day's work for what, half hour? For the sake of argument, we're going to let this one play out. We still have a ways to go until we get up to the 90, but now it's starting to get really juicy. It's starting to look really good. This has been the case with the U.S. 500 and the U.S. 100. They've been trending higher each and every day. It's I won't call it an anomaly, but it's definitely different. So you've got some big market drivers out there. Trump and Xi are speaking. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, that's for sure. Let's see. We got 512 Eli. Great Britain pound, Australian dollars at 187. All right, let's circle back around to our gold. That's the trade we want from gold right down there. Do we get it later today? Maybe. Great Britain pound, Australian dollar. This is one that we traded successfully right up above 187. All right, this is a great point, Eli. So what happened here? This was it. We came down. We hit right above 187. We got paid. That was a good trade idea. I really liked that one. Key level now. Take a look at 187. What once was support is now resistance. I think you have to consider it. Take a look at this. High today goes right up to 186.99 and comes off. Do you want to be long or short right now? I would tend to think I'd want to be short. So we pull up our dailies. And this is where things can get really fun with technical analysis and key levels. I mean, it really can get fun, especially if they line up. 186.88, 187 is your key level. So there's your, I don't want to sell limit, I want to sell market. Okay, so horrible real trade location. Just sold at market at 186.83s. 187's our key level. 38% is right here at 186.88. So the big thing that we just did, if you're going to make trades like that, number one, your trade location's not the best, but you're still marching with the aggregate trend. You're beneath our key level of 187, and you're also beneath 38%. This market could really turn around and trend lower. I would call this a trend-following position play, and that's one of those that could be very good. Could be very good. I really wouldn't have a problem holding shorts right now in this pair. We broke through that support zone, and now we're heading south. US 500. Okay, now this is it. This is trading right now. What do you do in your mind's eye? What do you do right now? You're right at your take profit, right at it. We're up 690. We're only looking for 830. I mean, we are right there. We are right there. Do you take the money off? How do you manage this? This isn't easy, guys. This isn't easy. This would be a situation, if you're this close, you could move it to break even, and I really wouldn't tell anybody. You cannot take a loss right now. It's too close. I'm sorry. You're right there. 190. What are we looking for? 190, 1.2? Are we going to get it? We're only talking about 4 pips. We're only talking about another 4 pips. Do we get an opportunity here to hit our target and grab that breakout? 190, 190.5, 190.6. This is one trick that I use a lot. Okay, we still didn't get filled. Let's go down to a 30-second chart. Okay, we did get filled up. One of these tricks that I like to use when we get real close to your profit target. Something like this. Look at that reversal. I'd be watching like a 30-second chart, maybe even a 15-second chart to be watching price action. And I wouldn't really care about the price bars themselves, but I would be watching my volumes real closely. And if I saw a big uptick in volume and the thing starts to go red on me, I'm out. I'm not interested in getting caught in a big reversal. However, damn fine trade. Let's go ahead and pull it up. What did we get right here? We got a few things going. What's our our order history? Let's see. It's a clean 840. Not bad. We hit 240 yesterday. I don't even remember that trade. 840 though. Nice orb opening range breakout. That's why we're trading this time of day, guys. That's it. Really a pretty trade. This is one that, take a good look at what happened here. We got filled up right here. We took barely any draw at all. I mean, just barely went against us and then just took off. That's really a fantastic orb trade. One that very happy with. Very, very happy with. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that one. All right, let's go back over and see our WTI 1-minute scalp win or our Brent crude 1-minute scalp. This one's sort of trading a little bit negative. Now, that's the same type of thing. 1-minute scalp, we came down on that 9 EMA. And we're almost to the, you're almost to the promised land there. You're very, very close to your take profit. This would be a little bit different. This one's a little bit different because it's a scalp. This is a true scalp, 1-minute chart. We're not looking for a very big move at all. Our stop loss is really tight. You've got to build these trades into the cake. You can't really manage them like we managed this 15-minute orb. This is a much bigger move, We're on a 1-minute chart trade, a 9 EMA. You got to be real careful with what you do there. Real careful with what you do there. You don't want to manipulate those trades too much. Think system. If you're trading something like this, think system. Think I'm in this for the long haul. I'm in this to take a lot of trades. I'm not going to, my fate's not going to be pinned on any one trade. It shouldn't, no matter what. But like, let's say you're talking realistically. I'm just going to tell you what's going on here. A 1-minute trade on something like a 9 EMA is nowhere near the size of, say, this Euro USD trade. No way. And this we've actually dialed down to make it a day trade. Potentially it's a swing trade. Coming off a monthly support zone, monthly 38, monthly moving average. It's a bigger trade. So we're thinking swing trade. We're thinking we're going to be in the market here. We're going to have a lot more options to manage this thing on the fly than a 1-minute scalp trade. Look, I mean, we're just flirting with our take profit down here. I mean, believe me, I want to win it. We're up about $65 right there. I want to see this come off. We only sold one lot of Brent. Come on down and fill us up. What's our take profit? Our TP, we're looking for about $246. So let's see. It's pretty good leverage. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. That's a lot of leverage for this type of a scalp. You're playing $250 a roll. Do the quick math. I mean, where does that put you? 250. What divided by 0.05? So if I'm on 5% and I'm taking this trade, I need a $5,000 account. That's a 5% risk. Is it worth it? Is taking trades like this worth it over the long haul? Yeah. Think about your goal and your objective on take. Let's say I take 15 of these 9 EMA trades a day, and I'm looking to profit somewhere around $250 a trade. What's the goal? 15 of them? Let's say I go 10 and 5. How much profit's that? On just a 1-to-1 ratio. It's pretty good. You're looking at probably $1,000 a day, something like that. But you got to have the money to do it, and you have to be able to take downtrends, or take draws, take consecutive losers without blowing your account out. Absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. All right, this thing is what we call a dog. I'm tired of watching it. I'll be monitoring this Euro USD trade. Dollar yen, sort of in no man's land. All right, let's take one look at. Okay, we missed it, of course. I was talking about something else, but okay. Here's your TPO chart for your WTI crude oil futures June 2026. Pretty good stuff. I mean, I like the formation that's setting up right now. This is dead reckoning. It's dead rotation. It's flat. How do we know that it's flat? Number one, we've got that bell curve distribution. Now, these are more advanced concepts, but still, I mean, a lot of you can follow what I'm saying. The point of control, that's where we're doing all the business. We're trading at the point of control right now. Look how tight our value area is. Value area high at 101.61. Value area low, 160. It's exactly 100 pips. We're trading or 100 ticks, excuse me. We're trading in a 100 tick range. 101 is the middle. It's rotation. We're waiting for something to happen. This is dead rotation. So dead reckoning, what's a great strategy to trade when we're in rotating markets? Simple. You go right there to trade. Boom. Here's your trading DOM. You'll notice that we're not getting the movement we typically have been getting out of WTI. It's the old saying, it's dead as disco. Very, very flat. Pretty good bump there. I don't really like what's happening right now with the spreads. Should never be a spread on this. That means the volume's getting diluted between contracts. My guess is we probably already rolled over to the July contract, but we'll trade this one for now. We can do it. There's still action there. Volumes are low, though. Yeah. All right, so bottom into value. Interesting, 161. So if we were looking to do this, relatively simple, buy limit, 161. Something like this. I want a limit order. We want to buy 2. So that's the bottom of value. You could go right from that value area. Is it a good trade? Potential demand zone. I don't love it, though. I really don't love it. This is a trade where we would be looking to get out relatively quickly. I'd probably be looking at like 68s, something like that. That'll be good for about $140. I would have a very quick trigger on that one. This value area is either going to act as demand or it's not. And if it's not, if nobody's home, you got to get out. You got to get out. All right, we're getting a little bit of movement in our gold market here. Let's go back to our gold. Sort of holding shorts there. That's not a bad trade. Don't bet the ranch on it. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. But this is interesting to me. 46.85. We're down there 46.69. We might get this one. This gold trade, you might get that one. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's take a look at our 30-minute chart on gold. Could happen. Could get another shot at that. Personally, I would, not to project too much on the market, but what I would like to see later today is this market just start doing this stuff. If it starts doing that, we have a very high probability from there. That's a rock and support zone. So we'll see what we get going there. All right, 183. Are we going to get a shot? Okay, we might get our shot right here. 61. This is our trading depth of market. Still about 27 ticks away, but we are getting a little bit of action. So if you took a look at the orb trade and you won on the orb trade, this would be a nice complementary scalp. I mean, if you could get in and out, see if we can get our 7 ticks, something like that, have a really good chance of having a great day. Okay, here it comes. Now, what we haven't done in a while is lose. So I'm not going to wait around. So in my mind's eye, I've already made, what do we make, 800 on that orb trade, something like that. I don't know how the Brent trade panned out. We might have won, might not have. So if I'm thinking, okay, I'm ahead on the day, I don't want to destroy my day. The way that you destroy your day is if this thing doesn't work, you end up holding on to it too long. I have no desire to do that. None. So we're going to go ahead and buy the market here. Or excuse me, we're going to buy here. If it doesn't work out, we're going to sell and we're just going to get out. That's all there is to it. So I like what's happening right in here. We've got some demand. I mean, the traders were there. What's our low? Our low is 168. So that's sort of a near miss, but let's see if we get the follow through. We're going to get the bottom of value, which isn't a bad trade, especially in the flat market conditions. That bell curve, that normal distribution that's setting up with our TPO charts tells us that the market is flat. Now, it doesn't mean that it can't break. And if it breaks, I'm out. But we know this. We know we don't really have any news coming across the board with an organized economic release. We also know that the Iran news sort of been a little bit slow. So is this a bad trade? I think it's worth it. Let's take a shot. I'm not, don't bet the ranch on TPO charts. Typically, I don't. I like late day TPO or late day market profile setups, but something like this, if we can get it right now, yeah. $84, not quite there yet. Thought we had it. I really did. I thought we had it. All right, let's go back over to Switch. All right, there you go. There's your Switch Markets MT5 Live 9 EMA strategy. Performed beautifully. Had a really nice little scalp there. Let's go and take a look at the history. You can see, what did we pull? We pulled something, didn't we? That's not right. Well, we did win it, so that's good. Yeah, right there, Brent, 246. Very nice trade. Came off nicely, followed our strategy. Fantastic stuff. All right, this thing's not going to cooperate with us. It bounced back up to 93. You can see we're just dead in rotation. See what happens. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and take a look at a few of these news events, and I'm going to let you go. We've gone on long enough today. CBS News is reporting how much sway will Fed Chair Kevin Warsh have over interest rates. Not much. The Senate confirmed Kevin Warsh, President Trump's pick for the Fed chair in a 54-45 vote on Wednesday. It was the closest vote in recent history. Very tight. Typically, these are overwhelming one way or the other. But what you see here is sort of I guess he'll pass. Warsh, who has vowed to be an independent actor, said he will not set policy based on Trump's views. We'll get a chance to weigh in next month when the Fed's interest rate setting committee is scheduled to have its next meeting. His plans aren't clear. Yeah, he can't cut interest rates yet, but maybe later in the year. Talk a little bit about this tomorrow. Still watching that scalp out of the corner of my eye. We may get there in a minute. This is probably the biggest news we've heard in a long time. Xi asks Trump if the U.S. and China can avoid Thucydides. I've never even heard that word. Xi has. Xi knows it. The Thucydides trap at the high-stakes summit. So this is interesting. Xi's talking about Taiwan. Taiwan, Iran, and artificial intelligence are on the agenda besides tariffs and rare earth minerals. Xi asked whether the U.S. and China could avoid the Thucydides trap, which refers to how tensions historically between a rising and ruling power have often resulted in a war. So Xi put that out there and said, how can we sort of avoid a war because we're probably going to move on Taiwan? How can we avoid a war? How can we work together? And it's interesting because if you watched any of the pageantry from yesterday, really a high-stakes meeting, a lot of photo ops here, but just one of those things that you take a look at and you go, man, this is crazy stuff. I mean, Xi is talking about how can we avoid a war when they know that both countries are sort of at odds in a lot of ways. This will be probably one of the biggest summits that we've seen in a long time. I don't know that it pans out, really moves the markets. Right now, it looks like somebody leaked some AI news because we're way up in the stocks. As far as our commodities go, flat, gold, not much going on there either. But this is interesting stuff. Everybody's sort of waiting on pins and needles. Will China invade Taiwan by December 31st, 2027? Let's go ahead. Take a look at this. Only rocking about an 18% chance right now. About a month ago, it was a lot higher, 30% chance or so, but still there's a lot of skepticism that China is going to stay out of Taiwan. Really don't know what to say about that. I think there is going to be a chance there, though, to see that in 2027 as being our biggest market driver out there. And then lastly, Keir Starmer. Starmer has failed abjectly. He should go. Jamie Dimon warns JP Morgan may think new London office of Starmer's ousted. UK Health Secretary Wes Streeting resigns and is expected to challenge Starmer's leadership. So Keir's may be in trouble as sort of the premier or whatever you call him, the prime minister of the UK. I think that's going to be a big one. I mean, that's going to be a real big one. And I think the turnover looks like it's coming. It seems like every few years you get a turnover. Boris Johnson I remember that whole sort of charade after Brexit, but really a tremendous amount in the world going on geopolitically, no question about it. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and let's circle back around here and see what we've got right here at the top of the hour. I want this trade right now. If we can get this bottom of value area right this minute, like in the next 4 minutes or so, then we have a much better chance of getting it over the next half hour. And the reason why is you typically see WTI crude and volumes move into the market at the half hour. So like, let's say we go another 4 minutes and you're up at 9 o'clock my time, 11 a.m. Eastern, you'll probably see a rush of volume there, and then it could potentially drop. Okay, right now the timing's starting to work perfect for this trade. All right, so we're sitting there. We're sitting at 61s, which, maybe not aggressive enough. But let's wait and see. Okay, price is coming right down to us. The timing looks pretty good. That's going to be our profit target right up there at 68. Now, I'm not going to wait. I mean, if this thing starts to get away from us, remember, we've already won 2 trades. We've already made our money for the day. This thing is not going to get away from us. 62, are we going to print it? Okay, we should have got it right there. We didn't get it. Trading down to 61. Okay, there it is right there. What are we trading at now? 55, 56, 57. We're going right back up to 58, 59, 60, 57, 57, 58, 58, 58, 57, 54, out. Take the loss. It bounces back up. I don't care. There's no way that we're getting stuck in a big loss right there. And now it goes back up positive and potentially is going to hit our profit target up at 68 or 70. We pulled the trigger. We took a small loss on that trade. It was a relatively small loss. Even though it's not a winner, it's not a big loser. And given our position going into that trade, we had the big winner on the orb, so we were up 800 there, and then we were up another 250 after that Brent trade. So we're up about 1,000. We're working a short on that Great Britain pound Australian dollar. We've got a long position in the Euro USD. For me, if that breaks out in our face and we end up taking a $400 or $500 loss, it'll wreck your day. And I'm not into that. The path of least resistance. The path of least resistance. Cut it off. Come back and fight. Even if you want to keep trading today, and if you were up, let's say early in the session you're up $1,000, is there any reason to even keep trading? I don't know. It depends on your financial goals. For me personally, that risk was worth it. We had the money in the bank. What did we take? $140 loss, $130 loss. Just isn't that big of a deal. As far as the swing, yeah, we could have made a little bit of money if we would have stuck it out another minute. But take a look at what's happening to the market now. Now that value area low is starting to break. This market has a good chance of taking a run down there at 99.39 or 100 even. If we held that trade right now, we're in bad shape. Now now it's chewing us up. Now we're down, now I'm down 20, I'm down $400, and I just gave back a lot of my great orb trade earlier. Psychology as a trader is everything, guys, especially if you're going to day trade in this business and be in this game for a long time. When you have those trading days where you show up and it's easy, you hit an orb trade and you're in it for 2 or 3 minutes and it pays you. If you're in a Brent trade that never really goes against you and pays you, and then you have a chance to say, okay, maybe I'll make one more trade. Go ahead and do it. But just remember that sometimes taking a small loss is the best thing you can do. If I was sitting on this WTI crude right now and we were printing 101.50 and we're getting ready to roll over to the 11 o'clock hour on the East Coast, I would be really worried. I'd say, man, if this value area doesn't hold, we're going to trend, and we're going to not trend, but we're going to break and look at our lows for the day, which are down there around 99.50. And if I'm still in this market then, now I'm talking about going down $1,000. So I go from being up 1,000 to down 1,000. That's what we call a swing. That's a $2,000 swing. And all of a sudden, you find yourself in a precarious position for the week. And if it happens a couple days in a row, you find yourself in a precarious position for the month. The swings are what kill you as a day trader. Take a look. It's starting to get gravity beneath the value area. Look out. You don't want any part of that. When the money's there, take it. The path of least resistance. Always remember the path of least resistance. This is a marathon. It is not a sprint. When the money's available, you take the money, you move on to the next trade. You take the money for the day, you move on to the next day. Think about your psychology. Last thing I'm going to say about psychology, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You're up 1,000 for the session. You decide that you want to keep going and try to reach your financial goal for the week or the month today. You start pressing the action. Okay? Comes back down. Now you go down 1,000 today. You say, well, I only went down 1,000 today. No, you didn't. You went down 2,000. You were up 1,000. Now you're down 1,000. What's your head like tomorrow? Do you come in and do some things you shouldn't do? All of a sudden, it's Friday. It's No Donation Friday. Instead of counting your 1,000 and getting ready to roll into next week's trade fresh, rested, and optimistic, you're going to be sitting there on a Friday in the back of your mind, you're thinking, okay, I got to get back what I lost yesterday. Don't go that road. Don't go that route. Don't go that route. You're going to be just fine. You just got to figure out ways to do this to where you're going to be in decent shape over the long haul. Not for 5 minutes, not for 30 minutes, for an hour. Think bigger. Think bigger. Let's say you come in on a Monday and you don't do much, and then you show up on a Tuesday and you end up making like $5,000 or $6,000 on a Tuesday. Do you have to go to work Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? No. Do you want to? Yeah, I think it's probably good to show up and make a few trades. Are you giving back that $6,000 or $5,000 you made on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? Hell no. It's a marathon. It really is a marathon, especially if you want to be a day trader and a short-term trader. You've got to preserve your energy. You got to preserve your mental capital, and you got to stay as optimistic as you possibly can. That means momentum moving forward. That means taking the money when it's there and feeling good about it. That's for sure. There you go, pack up. The urge for one more trade always ends badly for me. There's an old saying, get what you're going to get, front and center. If you have these lofty financial goals and you want to make $5,000 a day or $10,000 a day or whatever it may be, whatever your goal is, maybe it's 100 a day. If that's your goal, and let's say you come in and you hit it right away, mission accomplished. Don't worry about the rest of the day. You got another day tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow won't be as good as today. Yeah, well, maybe it won't be, but maybe it'll be better. You don't know. That's the problem with day trading and short-term trading that eats everybody alive. It really does. They get caught up in their own mind. They bring their own baggage in, and at the end of the day, they don't know which way's up. That's the reality of it. So preserve your mental capital, stay fresh, and always be moving forward. All right, guys, I've gone on way too long today, but we had some good trades. Really productive orb trade. That was fantastic. Nice little Brent 9 EMA scalp. I think we took a great loss on that WTI trade. It's bounced back up to about break even, but still, I'm fine with it. Gold, we didn't get our gold trade, which kind of sucked. We're holding Great Britain pound, Australian dollar shorts, which, I don't know. We'll see how we do there. Looks to me, yeah, okay. Well, there you go. There's your position in that right there. So that that thing's come way ahead. So all of a sudden we had a pretty good last 15 minutes on that. You could probably pull the plug on that up a few $100 or just ride it out. There's been a little bit of action here in this Euro USD. We're going to go ahead and take that as a position trade. If you played it as a real tight scalp, right there you would have got knocked out. Remember, our stop loss was down here about 71. So you're still alive there if you're trying to play it tight. I wouldn't play it tight. I'd let this thing pan out and see exactly what happens. It's a big-time zone. A lot can happen there, but it is a big zone. That's plenty for me today, guys. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 406 points. S&P 500 is up 55. NASDAQ is up 225 points. Stocks are up. Oil's coming off a bit. Gold's sort of flat. Silver's coming off a bit. Great Britain pound USD, I didn't even cover that today. That's off a little bit. Dollar yen sort of flat. Euro USD's off a little bit. Dollar CAD, that's one that we're watching very closely. That level up right just in front of 130. It could be great. That's a wrap, guys. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic trading day. As always, watch your discipline. Watch your discipline, but trade the action well. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and we'll talk soon. See you. Traders all over the world are already using Switch Markets. Thousands of traders just like you across multiple markets each and every day. If you haven't joined yet, you can open an account and begin trading in just a few minutes. Click the link in the description.
What am I doing? I told myself this year was going to be different. So many things I want to achieve, yet I'm here wasting my time doom scrolling. I was going to start running again. I was going to make more of an effort with my friends. I was going to work on my confidence. I was going to get fit again. I was going to start trading. Time to wake up and stop making excuses. Okay, Switch Markets. Let's do this. When you're ready to trade, Switch Markets is waiting for you.